So, hi friends, this is Sanjay Parihar from Houston, Texas. I'm a technologist, and again, as we promised, that we're gonna bring notable faces from tour and travel industry to understand what are the post-COVID-19 measurements they are taking. And so here we are with Mr. VAIBHAV, founder and director for the Atali Ganga Hotel. Welcome to our show, sir.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Yeah. And I'm also here with Mr. Andrai, who is from GL Bajaj. So we're going to talk about COVID-19 measurements. We'll learn about that from Mr. VAIBHAV. What are the steps being planned? And we also will talk about hotel in the middle of the video. So let's start with that. Mr. VAIBHAV, what do you think? What are the post-COVID-19 measurements will be taken? It is very important for a consumer or for a tourist to understand and then make decision accordingly once everything opens up there. So what's your thought on that?
So Sanjay, it's here to stay. These sort of things are going to keep repeating themselves. And very early on, towards late Feb, when we first started, when the effects were sort of building up in India, we had already begun thermal scanning of all our guests. Atali, since its inception, we had sanitizer dispensers at all public places. So it was quite easy because when we planned the hotel, a lot of the stuff that we need to do now was already in place, and we've been working on industry protocols since then. Trying to ready up for the landscape when it improves. Training our people, shortlisting vendors. We're looking at a disinfectant walkthrough for the property. So when guests come in, their bags, their themselves. There's also so much of optics that is involved. People need to feel safe when they come in. And not only feel it but see it. And see that we take measures. So that's the plan. Readying up for the landscape first to change and for welcoming our guests back. A lot of the protocols that are needed. Disinfecting rooms and hygiene and flat surfaces, hands, all that is getting into place. A lot of our team needs to be sensitized continuously. Guests need to be taking personal responsibility for their own safety. So that's what we're sort of working towards.
Wow. So kind of touching all the points. I mean, from process, people, training, and some sort of technology as well, right? Like you mentioned. And please go ahead. We're
looking at options to buffet, maybe table service or even room service for that matter. Segregation of tables to keep them at least 6 to 8 feet apart. And I think Atali, the way it's built, that helps because it's actually built like a modern ashram. We are away from the city, 30 kilometers drive away from Rishikesh. We're spread over 5 acres. The cottages are all independent. There's no central air conditioning, ducts. Everything is standalone with their own patio. So you can be as private or as social as you want to be. So keeping physical distance is not a problem. And so we're a boundaryless property. We have no boundary walls. We're surrounded by reserve forest. We have monkeys and barking deer for neighbors. Physical distancing is very, very easily done at Atali.
So kind of social distancing, so to speak. So it's already implemented in the initial design already. It's already
Absolutely,
there.
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
Great to hear that. And that is one of the most important thing which governments and doctors are suggesting all of us to do so, and which is already there in a way, right?
Yes,
Great.
Correct.
Great.
And we have a 12-hour activity schedule that is being tweaked again. We will tweak it to limit people on the raft. So from morning 6 o'clock to the evening, you can do things like go for a birding walk, go for a hike, try out a high ropes course, try out the climbing wall, go kayaking, go river rafting, do yoga. All these things do lend themselves to outdoor pursuit where where physical distancing is quite possible.
Right.
So I think we should be well set to receive guests once they feel confident of traveling, and when government ordinances sort of change and allow them to.
Right. So the whole concept of Atali Ganga is so different and so lively, right? And so I'm very curious to know, what was the thought process? What was your thought process behind to come this very uniquely designed hotel in a way?
So, Sanjay, I founded a company called Aquaterra Adventures, which owns Atali, and our speciality is the outdoors. So we do a lot of limbs and lung travel, hiking, climbing, river running expeditions. We do mountaineering courses, whitewater training, stuff like that. And I think as we were all getting older, our clients, our guests would always say, give us a more comfortable space to experience all this. We don't mind being put through, strenuous days, active days, but give us a great, lodge to come back to. And that feedback over time, sort of lent itself to the whole idea of being a camp plus, sort of like a glamping model where people can pursue, activities that they really enjoy, and come back to a lovely location, a comfortable bed, ensuite toilets, great place to hang out in the evening, have a drink, meals, meet new people. So it combined what a camp life would be to a certain degree of comfort. Yeah, so it was a fairly standalone, still is, and you have come up to experience it.
Right. Wow. I mean, I have experienced the rafting in Colorado River with the Rapid 4, but what is the Rapid there? I mean, is it a 4 or 5 or Yeah. So the Ganga is very, very close to what the Colorado River is like.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool and drop. The rapids are class 3, class 4 sometimes, depending on the time of year. So it's very, very similar. It's great for kids above 14. They have float sections for kids under 14. Mm-hmm. Great for elders. Great first time river, and it's bouncy enough for people to even experience it again and again. It's a 25-minute flight from Delhi airport to Dehradun, and we are 1 hour away. So brilliant access, great boundaryless experiences. It really doesn't get much better than that within like a 25-minute flight from Delhi. Absolutely, and such a great thing, and it's very close to nature. So people definitely enjoy the nature and then fun activities as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's great. So there is so that's a location USP, and we will be talking some more about how the cuisine overall looks like. If people are interested on cuisine, and like you mentioned, it's on the camp, so it's a different experience there, right? What do you guys offer in the cuisine as such? So we have a two cuisine, whitewater cafe where buffet meals are served, and it's evolved over time because of the clientele that we get. We get people from all over the world. We get, the expats in India. We get, international schools. We have families. We have, young children. We have elders. We have long 3-week-long yoga stay programs, retreats. So it's evolved over time to be, a two cuisine sort of menu, which is low on spice. We have pickles and things to add on for whoever wants it. We've sort of reached a stage where we made a nice balance. So you could be having, Thai, and Indian is normally the base, menu, and then we mix it up with some Thai, some Chinese, some continental, and our desserts are more home style, old, 1980s, 90s revived. It reminds everyone of their chula or something, like we have a tandoor and rotis come on the table. Yes. Yeah, and in the evening we have a little bar table set up, and all the mixers are on the house. There's snacks which are also part of the whole package. So you're not trying to order stuff and wait for it. It comes, it's on the house, and so it's a very special sort of specially designed sort of stay, which is fairly cashless, and all your typical needs are met. There'll be snacks in the afternoon at 4 o'clock before you go off for your kayaking, or after you come back from your hike, and then normally 6 or 7 depending on winter, summertime.
We have the snacks roll out in the evening just before dinner, and so it's built to built to end a really nice active day into mellow time before your dinner.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, this is amazing, and yeah. I mean, and so somebody can come there and somebody can experience the cuisine. I mean, like how the cuisine being prepared, like having real hands with the
Yes. So at times, people who want to have a go at cuisine, we do set up like an outdoor
Right.
setup where they can even see how, say, a dal is made, or some vegetables are made. So you could you could send us a request and we make that happen. We've got lots of space, lots of outdoor space, so it's easy for us to set it up.
Wow, this is great, and I know I'm.
Yeah, so just to have two things from you. Really nice to know that the activities which you just mentioned, activities are meant for all age group people, right? Yes. From to adults to young age people. And this, I was just going through your websites and saw a lot of awards which you have received from like for example TripAdvisor's Hall of Fame, and this company called this Condé Nast Travelers Awards. So can you just throw some light on these awards, what these awards are all about, and for what you just received this award?
So one of the first ones we were lucky to be featured in was the Condé Nast 2013 Hot List, the year after we started operation, because of our USP. We were on the Hot List of 100 Best Hotels. We were there. Then we got the Outlook Responsible Tourism Award. That was really nice because of the way, again, we've done away with all sorts of plastic. We have dispensers, any kind of product which generates waste. We've sort of tried to do away with. We don't offer bottled water. So right from the start, since 2012, I know it's a big story now, stopping use of bottled water, but we were doing it since 2012 when we started, and we encourage people to carry their backpacks with their water bottles, reduce use of detergents, and so the whole aspect has been towards responsible tourism. The devil is always in the detail, trying to work on the smaller sort of segments. And I think that somehow got recognized, and so that's been really the concept behind it.
Yeah, one very interesting point you mentioned in activities that you also have a kind of team building exercises. So it's somewhat like educational kind of a thing meant for corporates, or what is that?
So we do a lot of team offsites for corporates. We do a lot of international schools. We back-end a lot of international college programs in India. So like the Colorado Mountain College runs their India program with us. We do an alpine ascents, India mountaineering course. So a lot of that is, so their training has been part of what the parent company Aquaterra does. And a lot of that does get translated down to Atali's offerings. So we have a lovely conference room overlooking the pool and the Ganga River. It's a great setting, for getting minds to work. We have a little spa as well, which we built a couple of years ago after, again, a lot of customer feedback. They love the day out, but they love a massage as well. So we put that in pretty quickly. And so a lot of team building, a lot of training sort of programs. And that's something we've been doing for 25 years with our parent company. So that does form a large part of what Atali does.
These participants used to stay there in the hotel and they go for this team building exercises and all.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Nice.
Wow. So for that reason, I mean, a lot of corporates can take advantage of this exercise, because team building is one of the major requirements from the corporate side, right? And so not only just family enjoys that, corporate gets benefited by these activities and build a team, build a repo, gets better productivity back to your office, right?
Absolutely.
And it's actually a lot of training I have, and this is kind of coming from corporate world. This is one of the mandatory thing which we should have, and these activities, fun activities, are always a boost up for that relationship with the team and increase the productivity big time. Great. So while we are now about to wrap up the call, is there anything else we should talk about? Because there's so many things to talk about Atali Ganga. I know. I mean, we need a day, but yeah. Any other thing?
I don't know. So, I mean, there's all I'd like to say is, I mean, we're waiting. We're poised to start operations as soon as government ordinances sort of open it up, and we are built for physical distance, from accommodation to activities, and we're hoping to be operational as soon as we are allowed to, and we look forward to meeting our guests again.
Great. Yeah. Same. We are expecting as well, and that's where we are kind of, trying to get that those things out from the hotel so that people start learning about in advance while nothing can be done, right? And so, yeah. With that thought, thank you very much, Mr. Vaibhav, for joining this call. Thank you very much. Thanks, Anand.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you, Anand. Thanks for getting word out. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.